Ah, shit. This Bottle Rocket episode has been brought to you by BRG Events.
And by the support of people like you. Find out more at patreon.com/BottleRocketGaming. On this week's episode of the podcast, we catch up on the week's news, including Equifax news. We also do a deeper dive into topics of review bombing on Steam, and NachoPandaa catches up on what's going on in League of Legends. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the BRG podcast. I am your host, WarpedJester, and to my left,
Kirrok. Hello, everybody.
How's it going, Kirrok?
Excellent, thanks.
Good. Hey guys, thank you for joining us. As always, we tend to try to cover the latest in the week's news regarding gaming news, tech news, media news, a little bit of other news, and yes, week 4 of Equifax news. You knew it was coming, and I'm not
5.
I think it's 4. I don't know at this point.
All right,
It's all becoming a blur. I don't know.
I'm kidding.
So we got a lot of news for you guys tonight, and then also the second half of the show, we got some meaty bites we're going to get into, a couple of news items we want to dive into a little bit deeper, a little bit kind of a touch-up on prior week's conversation about Steam and some things going on there, so we're going to cover that as well. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, folks and fellas and girls of all ages, we're going to go ahead and dive into the speed bits. And to start us off, we're going to talk about Ubisoft's going to be buying back its own stock to prevent Vivendi takeover. So basically what's going on here, as you guys remember from past news, we've talked about how Ubisoft has been trying to stave off a hostile takeover by Vivendi. So Ubisoft has announced a buyback program in order to prevent the French media conglomerate Vivendi from taking over. The game company has granted a mandate which will allow them to buy back a total of 4 million shares until December 29th. What they're going to do is basically destroy the shares. So they're going to basically nuke them. So hopefully this will work for them.
Darkest Dungeon is coming to Nintendo Switch. Okay, so this game's been out for a year and a bit, maybe just about a year, and it came out on PC through Steam, and it's also made its way over to the consoles back in 2016, and now finally Red Hook Studios, developer of the popular innovative indie dungeon crawler game, they've announced it's coming to Switch. Unfortunately, they haven't yet mentioned or released indicated what the release date would be, but this is pretty cool. Carrying on with the Switch, Stardew Valley is out on the Nintendo Switch October 5th. So by the time you guys are seeing this, it's already out. In fact, as we're recording this, I already bought it because that was on my birthday, and it was a birthday gift to me.
Happy birthday, by the way.
And it's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. And now you can do things like plant, harvest, grow plants and fish and cook all on your Switch. And it's pretty awesome. I've been playing it. It's really good.
Yay.
Yeah.
So something you can't play on the Switch, but you can play on the Super NES is a bootleg of Star Fox for the Super NES. Now, this is a bootleg of Star Fox 2, and it's going to be a ROM that's being sold on eBay. So people are able to find it selling on eBay for as much as $70. The cartridge even has nice labels on the cartridge based on the new game art, and the cartridges are advertised as containing the full game. But what's more interesting is that they claim the games are compatible with the Super NES. So if you have an NES, grab this while you can, because I'm sure Nintendo will find some way to fucking block it.
Yeah, for sure.
Also in interesting news, the Sony PlayStation boss Andrew House is stepping down. Now this is a little bit interesting because this guy he's been with Sony for 27 years. He's been a key player in the launches of the PS1 through the PS4. John, I can't pronounce it.
Tsuyoki. I
Yeah.
can't.
Uh,
Tsuyoshi.
Whatever the case, will
Yeah.
be is currently the deputy president and will be standing in or stepping in to replace him. Basically remains the CEO of the PlayStation division, effective immediately. No news as to why. It was kind of
As to
sudden.
why?
So,
It's weird. It might be because they released a new PSVR model,
or that he thought
or
that
maybe
mobile
that they
wasn't the
didn't like.
place to be. I don't know.
So, an article from Upload VR, Sony reveals new PSVR model with HDR pass-through. So the PSVR is just shy of its 1-year anniversary, and Sony is celebrating by releasing a revised model. Couple of different things that they've changed, like they moved the audio port wherever that was on the old or original one, because I don't have one, so I don't know. And one other advantage is that this device does allow the processor unit, or the box that you attach to it, allows HDR pass-through, but not to the headset, to your TV. Right? So cables have been replaced with slimmer, thinner ones, and they haven't yet made it available when exactly it'll be when it'll actually be available, but they all did say that they should have it at the same price as the current model, which is pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So heading over to the other guy's camp, game gifting comes to Xbox One online store, and this is reported by Engadget. They did say in the article, as long as you are part of the Xbox Insider program for Microsoft, I'm not sure what that is exactly myself. They promised a feature, and that feature is now live, which is basically game gifting. You can directly gift a game to an Xbox Live friend through the system, or you can even do it to an email address, and then the recipient, when they receive that email address, they just need to redeem a code. Pretty cool, very Steam-like.
I'm kind of shocked they already have this.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I don't do the console thing, so whatevs. Cuphead. Everybody loves Cuphead. This has been like the new oh my god game, and the two notable things about it is holy shit it's good and holy shit it's hard. So yay for that. That said, there is a small little problem with Cuphead right now, in the fact that Windows are running into a nasty save bug. So basically, Cuphead players are running into a pretty terrible glitch in Windows 10 specifically. The game will sometimes delete the save file after leaving the game with a simple keystroke. This is not the kind of game where you want to lose your progress, since most reviews, as I said, show it to be very, very difficult. So some people are saying this issue is not resolved. They will consider the game unplayable and ask for a refund. So they better get their shit together damn quick.
HTC announces Fallout 4 VR pre-order bundles for all new Vives that are sold. So this is this is freaking awesome. This is from Upload VR. Basically, HTC has worked out a deal that if you're buying an HTC Vive, you will be getting Fallout 4 VR, with your purchase, which is sick. That's a full-fledged game, because it is the same as the Fallout 4 game, but the entire game playable in VR. Anyone who already owns a Vive, like me, basically gets a 3-month subscription, free subscription to their Vive port, which 3 months if they pre-order the game.
Okay.
So so for someone like me who's already bought the system, if I at least pre-order the game, I get a 3-month Vive port subscription, which is their kind of like Steam online game purchasing area.
Very cool. Very cool. It's a fun game to watch. I know I would never get into it because I'd just be too pissed off. Hey, let's switch gears here and talk about a little about tech news. So with all the nostalgia mania going on, apparently companies decided to get into it with the C64 nostalgia system. Now this is a C64 Mini. This is based basically on the old Commodore 64. Many of you may not know this because it was a gaming system of sorts, but also a computer of sorts. So it's a little bit of a different realm here. But long story short, the 64 is another plug-and-play replica console. This time is built as a fully functional, half-scale Commodore 64. Now, that said, a little caveat there is that it is non-functional in terms of the keys. The keys on there don't actually work, but it does have 2 USB ports. It comes with a controller. It plays all the Commodore games, and you can plug a keyboard into it theoretically, so you can actually do coding on it. And here's the really, really neat thing about it is you're actually going to be able to do full-on C64 programming on this. This is so for Seshi, our person who does our music, because she actually did coding on the C64. So bang on for that.
That's awesome.
I love it. In other tales of yesteryear, AOL Instant Messenger is shutting down.
AIM
is going bye, kids. I mean, if you were a child of the '90s, you will have fond memories of this instant messenger. It started out as being the premier communication platform inside of the walled garden that was AOL, and it then broke out to be its own instant messenger, fighting with the likes of Yahoo Messenger and MSN. But they are shuttering this service, so say goodbye and enjoy it as of December 15th. Sorry.
So I have some media news that's probably sad. Definitely very sad. Yeah. So rocker Tom Petty passes away at age 66, reported by CBC. This is lead singer of the Heartbreakers. Tom Petty, he died at age 66. He was rushed to hospital when they found him unconscious and in cardiac arrest on Monday. The band was actually in the middle of their 40th anniversary tour, and they last played in Los Angeles. Great artist, great songs. This is the kind of songs I listen to when we go up camping, which is freaking awesome. Around the fire, so good. If you really like him, there's another group that I'm pretty fond of called Walk Off the Earth. Go to Walk Off the Earth's YouTube channel. They just redid his song, You Don't Know How It Feels. And they're sitting around a campfire, and they're just sitting there, chill, and singing it really mellow, really good. Check it out. Please. So good. Moving on to other news, an artist is launching a 100-foot satellite that will be visible to the naked eye. This is reported by Motherboard. So the American artist, his name is Trevor Paglen. Did I read that right?
Whatever.
Hopes to launch a sculpture into low Earth orbit for terrestrial viewers to watch and track with an app. This looks like a giant lawn dart. Okay, it looks like a giant lawn dart or a hitless sword or hiltless sword. That's a sword without the little pieces that are on the end to protect your hand. Yeah. Flinging through space. Okay. It's a useless satellite serving no purpose beyond aesthetic.
Because we needed more fucking space trash.
Junk up there. Exactly what I was just thinking. In my head, I'm going, really? Aren't there other things up there that we could accidentally hit with this? But hey, it's art. So.
Whatevs. All right, guys, one last for you. As promised, more Equifax news. This fucking is mind-blowing. So the IRS will pay Equifax $7.25 million to verify taxpayer identity and assist in ongoing identity verification and validation to help prevent fraud at the IRS under a no-bid contract that was issued last week. So basically what this is they put a contract out and specifically tagged Equifax to bid on it, so to speak. But there's no other bidders. You are getting this contract. The notice describes that the contract is a sole source order, meaning Equifax is the only company deemed capable of providing this service, which, I mean, they've got a good resume. They know definitively that they have information for 143 million Americans, so there you go. You want to fucking talk about a tone-deaf fucking government. Jesus effing Christ. So there you go. A little Equifax news to put in there for you guys.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, something like that. Anyways, guys, that wraps up our speed bets. We're going to go ahead and move it on.
Okay, guys.
Welcome back to another Game Releases with me, Kirok, for Bottle Rocket Gaming. There are some good ones in here. Few of them, but some good ones and one little gem. Okay, guys, your first game is on October 10th. It is Middle-earth: Shadow of War, out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It is a action-adventure game based off the Middle-earth universe. It's the continuation in the popular series of Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. That was the first one. And essentially, it's got that nemesis system, which made it hugely popular when the enemies meet you, and then later on they meet you again and they know you're your shit. This Nemesis system is coming back, and it is improved and creates unique persona stories with the enemies you meet and the followers you encounter. And also on October 10th, we have Age of Empires Definitive Edition. This is that gem I was talking about. It's out for PC only, and it is an RTS, real-time strategy. This is a complete remaster of the original Age of Empires released back in 1997. They have all new graphics, remastered sounds and music, and the gameplay hasn't really changed a whole lot. I bought this game, not the remaster, the original, not too long ago on a Steam sale. Now I find myself wishing I had waited. If you are a fan of this series, it's worth picking up. And here's one more for October 10th, guys. It is called Arctica 1. It is a PC-only game for Oculus Rift. VR first-person shooter is the category or genre. It's from the makers of Metro 2033, Metro Last Light, and Metro Redo, or Redux, or whatever how you want to call it. And it is a highly immersive virtual reality first-person shooter. The story is you're on Earth. Earth has suffered another ice age, and most humans are fighting to stay alive. When I watch this video, it looks like a Doom on steroids. And now I might just have to buy an Oculus Rift. And your last game, guys, is coming out October 13th. It is Evil Within 2, coming out for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. It is an action/horror type game. This game looks fantastic, but if you ask me, it's a little demented and warped. I think it's only fitting that this game is being released on Friday the 13th, horror and all that stuff, you know. I never really had my eyes set on the Evil Within, but now having watched this video, I think I'm starting to come around. And that's it, guys. We have another game releases completed. This one was a nice one. There were some really good games in there. But right now, at the time of this recording, it is my birthday, so I'm going to go get shit-faced. I'll see you later. Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday to Kirrok, happy birthday to me.
Bottle Rocket Gaming will be holding an open game night on October 28th at 6 p.m. Central. The event will be streamed on Twitch. BRG, friends, and total strangers are all welcome to join. Games being played will be decided in the moment. Best way to keep up with us is via the Discord. Just follow the link on screen.
All right, welcome back, guys, and we are now getting into the meaty bites. I'm going to lead in with one topic that caught my eye. This kind of relates back to one of the things we talked about either on the previous episode or the previous before, and the article is actually put out by Polygon. It's PUBG is the latest victim in a review bomb on Steam. So this is pretty cool. If you don't recall, not too long ago, it's cool in the sense that even the big guys aren't immune to it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you.
So for example, if you're not familiar with what a review bomb is when a large number of people go on Steam, say they got the game in Steam or the game is available on Steam, and what they do is they go in and give negative comments or negative reviews on this game because they are dissatisfied with something in particular, and that causes the overall rating of that game to kind of, instead of skyrocket, take a nosedive. Yep. Recently, it happened with Firewatch, and this in this case, it happened on PlayerUnknown's Battleground. It was hit by a massive wave of negative reviews over this past weekend.
Now, before we go any further, can anybody guess why? Without looking at
So, good point, because when I initially relayed eyes on this article, I was thinking, oh man, does this have to do again with PUBG and how they feel about the what they claim is the copycat of Fortnite? And it wasn't. It had nothing to do with that. The review bomb appears to be as a result of many players in China upset about advertisements showing up in game.
Now, I'm curious about this because they said that they've done like advertisements before. I don't play the games. I haven't seen anything like this, but is it has to do with the fact that there's advertisements showing up on the load screen or whatever? Or does it have to do with specifically what they're advertising?
Well, in this case, it's I think it has to do with just the advertisement showing up. But you're right. Further on in the article, there is a note about it being something that has been done before. Personally, I played the game not a whole lot, so I haven't really seen that. I think I remember seeing one little thing on the it's on the main page when you're getting ready to go into battle.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing a little thing there for when they were promoting the upcoming tournament that they were holding.
Okay.
And in this case, it appears to be specifically from an advertisement from a company that does virtual private network and servicing and stuff like that. That was showing up on the page and started causing rage. Yeah, go ahead.
Virtual private networks in China. I mean, how private are they? Because China likes to be able to see into everything.
True. Good point.
I guess it's private for you and the government watching.
They won't say anything if I don't.
Yeah, my ass they won't.
So if you recall, when this happened to Firewatch, one of the things that Steam implemented was a chart system or a histogram that kind of shows. This was actually implemented in September last month. That shows how a game has been tracking. So the idea behind that is if, let's say, all of a sudden a review bomb does happen on a particular game, you're not just faced with what the review rating is. You can actually click on it and watch or look at over time how that game's done. If it's done well or if it's had a consistent poor score overall, which will give you a little bit more insight as to whether or not that game is something that you really want to get into or not.
Which again, I think is probably the best thing they could have done, to be honest, because this is exactly an example of why you want to be able to see that. I mean, they're saying the chart for PUBG shows more than 20,000 negative reviews in just the last few days.
Exactly. So if you look at it, it's interesting to see how this game has been amazing since its release in March as early access, and now all of a sudden over the last week or less, few days, it's literally gone down. But I actually I don't like that this has happened personally, because it's a kind of abuse from the players and fans. But at the same time, I am kind of happy that it did happen after they implemented this chart system, as a result of it happening to Firewatch, because now we can actually see this in action, see if it makes a difference in people's
that's
position or standing. Yeah.
I'd be really curious to see. I wish they had kind of a side-by-side so you could see the
before and after.
Well, I was going to say just to see how many purchases have been done. Because you see this review bombing. You see this last couple of days. It literally has been a huge spike of negative, and oddly enough, huge spike of positives. Now, the aspect about this though, it makes me really curious, because there's a little bit of a difference here in that you talk about the Firewatch thing. So the Firewatch thing, in case you guys forgot, Firewatch got review bombed because basically this is a big kerfuffle with PewDiePie.
Oh, PewDiePie, yes.
And people review bombed Firewatch because Firewatch basically said, we're gonna fucking DMCA anything that PewDiePie's done with their content. Review bombing a game because you don't like a stance they take, I don't think is right. I think that's wrong in all kinds of fucking levels. But in this particular case, legitimately, the reviews, I'm assuming I haven't read all the reviews, but the reviews are based on something that actually has to do with the game. Now, whether it's the actual gameplay aspect or an element of the game being like advertisement or whatever the case may be, this is at least a little more on par in that regard.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's more it relates more to the game.
It actually has to do with the game itself.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
exactly.
Technically, if that is the case, if people are putting reviews saying it fucking sucks to doing advertisements, and to that point, again, theorizing since I don't own the game, you pay for a game, and you pay, how much is this thing right now? I mean,
it's like 34 Canadian or something like that, 34 Canadian.
Yeah, it's a chunk of change. It's not bad compared to some games. It's not bad. But you're paying for a game outright, and then they're tossing advertisements on top of that.
Yeah.
That
well, I mean,
shitty.
Yeah, at least it's just an advertisement, and it's not in game while you're actually playing. If it's on the home screen,
fair enough.
And I mean, they could have gone so far as like Fortnite. Fortnite is a free to play game. It's basically what Bluehole is saying is a ripoff of their game, but it's exactly the same in the play. I finally watched NachoPandaa play it, and it is almost identical, but with all their in-game assets and everything
Building
like that.
and whatnot.
But they also did say that in the future they're going to be having in-game content like that you can buy, mostly cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at that going, well, what if this had the same thing? Would they review bomb it even more? What if they made the decision to change it so that they can get in-game revenue through selling different clothing and stuff? I mean, they do have the points in the game, but you can't. Can you buy the points for real money? I can't. You know what? I'm not even sure.
I'm not even sure about this one, but
yeah.
I mean, again, this is a bit. Even to that point, again, to go back to the aspect we're talking about, something to actually do with the game itself. And if you go out and purchase a game for $30, $40, $60, and then on top of that you have to pay for stuff in game, that could be a valid point to put a negative review up and say, listen, I'm basically getting half a game here. I have to pay for the game to get it, and then pay more to do something with the game. Now I can go down a rat hole and talk about cosmetic versus functional and the BS of that, but I'm not going to, at least not this time. Anything like that is related to the game. That's a valid point, but still, even to that point, having this type of visual to see what's going on, I think is a good thing. I think this definitely does.
Big help.
It proves that this is exactly what we needed. We need to be able to see a little more detail about what's going on. And again, you look at something like this, you look at, okay, something happened, and you can read the reviews, find out what's going on, and go, okay, well, the Chinese sect of the game is upset about something. That's not going to affect me. I don't care. I can dismiss that and look into the game for its validity. And looking at the rest of the reviews through the dawn of time to present, they've been generally positive. Mm-hmm. So it lets me have a little more control and a little more help with it. So, sorry that we're getting bombed, but
I know, but at least this way, if it is happening, there is some context as to why it's happening. There's a reason, or we can figure it out. Last thing I wanted to mention, which is actually pretty neat on the article, is that Bluehole announced they're spinning off a separate company called PUBG Corp. Really funny, and they're exclusively spinning that off in order to work on Battlegrounds. So neat little tidbit. Interesting to see what comes out of that. Yeah,
that'll be fascinating. I'd love to get people's thoughts on that, because that's gonna be something.
It's like that quick. The game became that big. Oh, we got to spin off a separate company.
Yeah, seriously. And just for a game, I don't know if I've ever heard of any situation where a company is spun off. That. Yeah, for just a game. That's interesting. What else has Bluehole done that is notable besides them?
They've never heard of them until PUBG, and the only reason I know is because it's stuck. Bluehole sounds like
yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna say it.
Another Steam related topic here I want to touch on is another article from Polygon. It's Steam's biggest seller of shovelware pulls out of the game business. Now this is kind of interesting, and I gotta give credit where credit's due, because Sid Alpha had pulled this up, and this is where I first saw it, and it's interesting. So some of you might know Valve recently pulled a lot of fake games from Steam in attempts to clean up all the riffraff or shovelware from their marketplace. Now, in this move to clean up shops, Valve pulled Silicon Echo entire catalog off of Steam after users reported the game for a lot of asset flipping. And if you don't know what asset flipping is, basically what it is, they've taken a lot of game engines we use, like Unity and Unreal, etc., have basically sample stuff that you can see what the engine can do. They basically take that content and just reskin it and make some shit game out of it.
Yeah.
Like the what was that, the spinner game?
Oh, they have that? Oh my god.
Oh yeah. It's bad. It's really bad. Anyways, and then they dump it onto Steam, pay the $100 fee, and it just gets pushed right through, and they basically start reaping the benefits of it. Now, there's a whole lot of reasons for it. We've talked a little bit about that. In-game cards for trading, game keys to sell off for cheap, things like that. But anyways, these games titles are made on a low budget and with pre-made assets, which are sold cheaply and basically it's a quick turn profit. I've seen them basically take one type of game and kind of reskin it, rename it multiple times. Yeah.
It looks like a different game. It's named something different, but the gameplay and everything's the same. It's like,
And there's a lot of cases where doing a little sleuthing, which Sid Alpha, with the help of somebody else, I remember who it was, it could easily find out that it wasn't just this one company, that they had multiple company fronts. And usually it's because they're stupid and they use the same email address for contact or same Skype name, etc. And so they can go down and basically find every single iteration of their game company spitting out this trash. Now, a representative from Silicon Echo gave the following statement to Polygon regarding the issue. And to quote, the only information we have been given is that our games were consistently at the top of the users' reported titles, primarily for practices that are deceptive to the customer. Silicon Echo says, this did not fully explain the reasons for complete account and business termination. So naturally, we sent an email to Valve politely asking some additional questions. First of all, I'm calling bullshit on this. You know full on fucking well why you got
what
nailed.
You're doing. Yeah, exactly.
You know, and Silicon Echo shared this email with Valve. Shared this email to Valve, and Silicon Echo claims that it is a separate company from what's it called? Zenitron Productions, another developer whose games were removed from Valve by the help of Sid Alpha. And again, it's because they had common email addresses, contact points, etc.
So it's a legit front for them. Yeah.
Yeah. There's the following two quotes from Silicon Echo's feelings. We are no heroes. We have indeed sometimes been conducting our business with some practices people may call shady.
So they're almost admitting it there.
For example, creating more developer names, even though they were on the same name account and listed under the same publisher. This was done primarily for easier statistical tracking, as we did not believe it to be a problem since all of the games were publicly listed under the same publisher and there was no deception intended.
Yeah.
Again,
it's like
calling bullshit on this. The situation has completely destroyed everything we have been working on for the past 3 years, and we are forced to give up the game development at this point, and for more than one reason. Silicon Echo said mainly because our reputation is destroyed beyond repair, but also for financial reasons. We wish we have been warned about this before, and in the case that we would have focused on different business plan or development.
What kind of a business plan and development is that?
Here's a business plan. Actually create your own fucking
Make
shit.
a game.
Stop horking everybody's fucking pre-made work and actually do your own fucking content. The whole purpose of these engines is to make game development easier. Otherwise, you'd have every individual studio would have to create their own engine with their own assets, and that would be an incredible amount of money and time and investment, and they'd have to deal with all kinds of shit. With having a game engine you work with is great because you have a lot of that knocked out already. You know that it's going to work with the different video cards a lot more reliably, etc.
Yeah. It's now, like a canvas.
Now, yeah. Right? Now you can actually fucking focus on creating your code. I mean, seriously, this is like saying, listen, I bought this photo editing software, and they have sample pictures. Yeah. I'm going to take that picture and draw a smiley face across it, and then release it as my own picture.
Look, it's mine. Yes. Yeah. Oh my God, you're so...
Which is so fucking bullshit. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous. And here they are saying, well, some people may call that shady, but had we gotten a warning about, basically copying somebody's content and just regurgitating it with a different skin, we would have developed a different business plan. So you thought, for some strange reason, that the best business plan for you was to just copy everybody's shit. And poorly, I might add. None of these games were good games. They were shitty games. I mean, there's examples of games from asset flippers where it's like you walk through a shitty level that has nothing to it, and you can pop enemies from a distance that they'll never react. That nothing ever happens. The AI has not been developed at all for it. I mean, it's fucking
hence
retarded.
the term shovelware.
Oh my god. I mean, again, all I want to do is get free game keys that can, instead of, usually they get game keys to send out to reviewers, things like that. Instead, they just put them on gray sites so they can sell them on the cheap, or get those trading cards they can sell for, quarters per card to make a fast buck. That's all it is. Your business plan was to be shitty and shady, and now you're pissed off because nobody gave you any warning. They're going to shut you down for being shitheads.
Essentially, they're abusing those other sources of revenue within what Valve has set up. They're abusing A to be able to take advantage of B and C. And now Valve's like, no, and they're like, what? Right?
Yeah,
so...
and it's ridiculous because I'm sorry, but in the end, your business plan should be built around making a profit off the game you design, not the cards, not selling keys on the cheap, just making a game that people will buy for the game to play. And to be fair, I'm not a game dev, so I am talking from outside this sphere.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is I would assume that, like many other things in this world, when you start out creating games, you're just going to have to go into full force and do your best, learn from what you're doing, and put out a game that may fail. But in this day and age, there is a popular moniker kind of coined by Facebook, which is, move fast, fail fast. You build a game, it doesn't do well, you learn from that, you pick up some tips and tricks on how to build a better game, maybe take some of the feedback, okay, we need to build better X into the game, and release another game. And you do your best the best you can. I know it's not what you want to hear, but the fact of the matter is that's the way it's supposed to be. This shady shit of building these half-assed games for a quick buck in the non-standard revenue paths is bullshit. Calling Steam out saying it's unfair that they called you on this is bullshit.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
Oh, you don't want to do this anymore? Oh, I feel so bad for you.
I'm going to code a video game, and there's going to be somebody in the game going, it's a me, George.
Yeah.
I'll see how fast that gets taken down.
No shit. Don't cross Nintendo. There's the first rule of doing game dev. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, guys, this is one of those things that's like, here's my prediction. They're not going to just fucking shutter the doors and say we're done. They're going to come back as some other name. They might even be smart enough to use a different email address for contact points. Just saying. Don't want to really give you tips so you can succeed because you're assholes, but maybe not use the same fucking contact email address for the new game company that you're inevitably going to fucking do, because I'm sorry, but obviously from the look of these games, you guys spent no time in it whatsoever, and it's really easy to do that again. Just call it, some new name. Maybe we'll call it, Silicon Pecco and move on and make another one. So, I don't know. Anyways,
not likely we'll get to see them actually apply and make a real game.
No.
Probably not, eh? No.
No. Well,
apply themselves is what I mean.
I mean, they obviously have more smarts than I do, because I couldn't even do what they've done. So they got something there, and I wish they would fucking just take the time to actually learn the skills and do it right. But the fact that matters, it's not going to happen. I will bet you anything that will come back. Games replacement to Greenlight is obviously a failure. It has done absolutely nothing to stop the shovelware coming in. Good on Steam for fucking hacking at this issue, but I have a feeling this is a lot like dealing with a Hydra. Keep keep lopping heads off.
Splits into more, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. So, it was good. I do want to get your thoughts and opinions on this, as always. And please, 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 feel free to leave a comment down below and let us know what your thoughts are. And if you're a game dev, I want to get your thoughts on this, because this is a big fucking deal. And with all due respect, there are a lot of indie studios out there that have some really good, solid games that are really hard to find because of all this crapware that fills up the Steam page. I mean, I reference back to one of the guys we had on from Gaming Frontier.
Gaming Frontier, yeah.
They have a really cool little indie studio,
Adolfo.
and from everything I've seen so far, really cool games that they've actually poured their heart and souls into. And these are the guys that should have front page time with Steam, not this bullshit.
Yeah,
so, you know, we're hurting the feelings of people that are assholes. Can't really feel bad about that. Sorry, you're a fuckwit. You got treated like a fuckwit. Move on. Anyways, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for the meaty bites. Again, please give us your thoughts and opinion on this. I'd love to get some different points of view, and just, you know, tell me I'm wrong. I'm fine with that, or tell me your take on it, because I want to definitely get a wider perspective on things like that. We're gonna go ahead and shovel on.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy NachoPandaa, and tonight we're going to get into some more League of Legends Worlds 2017 coverage, so you best not go anywhere, because we're going to get right into it right now. Let's go! Alright guys, we're back. So like I was saying before, yes, you guys, we're going to be covering Worlds League of Legends 2017 from now until about the end of October is when, well, this whole event goes. But like we talked in the last episode that we had our esports coverage, we went over the the play-in groups, which is kind of the sub-tournament before groups start. So groups started October 5th, which is just a couple days ago, and it has been a whirlwind of teams. Before we get into who's done what, let's go back. Let's go back to play-in stage. Let's talk about those teams that made it out, because they deserve the respect and praise that they got. So we got 4 teams that made it out of that group. We have Cloud9 from North America, Fnatic from the European LCS, we have Fibonacci Esports from, I believe, one of the smaller regions in Europe, and then Team WE from China. So those were the 4 teams that made it out of the play-in group stage and got thrown into the mix with the rest of the teams. So bear with me, guys. We've missed a couple days, or we've had a couple days to watch, so we got kind of a taste of what to expect. And you guys, I cannot stop talking crazy good about this, because we've been spoiled, you know, in the world of League of Legends. This is the World Series. This is the best of the best across the globe. So we're going to go over real quick. We're going to show you guys the teams that are actually competing. We'll put it right up over here. And then we're going to talk about the first 3 days and kind of go over certain regions that we have seen that are kind of, you know, may not be doing so well, and some regions that are surprisingly doing well. So, you know, let's get right into it. So we're going to start with our boys over in Europe. And, you know, I hate to say this, they are in the struggle bus this round. Right now, the European teams in the first 3 days, and, you know, start October 5th. So in the first 3 days, they are 2-4 as a whole region. That is not good, you guys. 2 of the 3 teams only have 1 win, and that is, oh, that's terrible. I hate to see that. And that's Misfits and G2 with 1 win, and they're not looking promising. And I hate to say that, but this may be the year where they don't even make it out of Worlds, or out of the group stage into the knockout round. So we still got 1 more day, and we'll hope for them. But jumping across the pond, talk about us North Americans. We are killing it. The boys in the red, white, and blue are killing it right now, you guys. All 3 teams are in the top 2 of their respective groups, people. We got Cloud9 going 2-1 so far. We have Immortals tied for second in 1-1. And then we got our boys Team Solo Mid 2-0 right now. And they play, I believe they play tonight to hold their first place in their group. And it's crazy. I mean, not to, you know, talk negatively about the North American region, but they have never had great showings in the international stage. So like Worlds 2016, 2015, they've made it there. They've made it to the Worlds. They've made it to Worlds, but they've never done well. So we're actually getting a taste of the good life for our North American teams, and I think they can do it. So they got one more day, and then we'll talk about. We also have our teams like, the regular teams that are always in Worlds, like RNG, Samsung Galaxy, and SK Telecom T1. Oh, such a mouthful. Are continuing to wreak havoc just like they normally do. We actually, SKT1 Worlds 2016 and Samsung Galaxy were the runners-up, so obviously they know what they're doing. They got the skills. But they may not be taking the first and second places so easily this year, because we got a lot of teams that are very promising, and there's a lot of wild cards. We have Gigabyte Marines, we have Misfits, we have Team WE even. They could potentially move up into their group, and they're actually in the group with TSM, so they could potentially move to that second place and edge their way into the knockout rounds. But to continue to talk about it, we still have day 4 happening tomorrow. There's a lot of gameplay, and then we will be going into next weekend, the 12th through the 15th. What will be happening is they will continue to be playing the group stages, but instead of playing, teams from other groups, it will be the groups playing each other. So each team will play another 3 more games in their respective groups, and then that will be their final standing going into the knockout rounds. And the top 2 teams in each group will move on into the knockout rounds, and then they'll reshuffle the teams, and then they'll play, and they'll go into another division or another round until we have our winner. But you guys, this is crazy because we have a lot more League to watch. We still got another 6 hours on Sunday, and then we have another weekend chock full of League of Legends. So we will be watching a lot of that. We also have, we'll be talking more about this as it's going on. But you guys, I'm gonna give my quick predictions. I think we're gonna be. This will be the year where we see more than 2 teams from North America make it out of group stage into the knockout rounds. And I unfortunately have a feeling that Europe will not make it to groups, or make it out of groups this year. I have an inkling. I just don't think they have what it takes right now. And of course, Korean teams will continue to do what they do and just obliterate anyone that steps in their way until they play the North American teams. So you guys, that's just gonna be my quick predictions. Obviously there's a lot more to watch. You guys, I highly recommend going back, watching the VODs of all league play. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what teams you're rooting for, obviously. And let's just talk league. So you guys, always make sure to check me out. I just want to, first of all, thank you guys so much for checking this video out. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Leave comments below what you guys think about this segment, even if it's negative. Just let me know what I can improve on. And you guys always make sure to check me out on Twitch, right up here, you guys. And also check me out on Twitter. Let me know you're stopping by. Let's chat. Let's talk video games. Let's talk esports. Let's talk everything. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. We will see you next time. Have a good evening. Peace.
Alrighty, my friends, we've done it again. You've used up another wonderful hour with us, and I do appreciate it. But sadly, all good things must come to end, so does this. Anyways, I do want to say a big thank you to, of course, Kirrok, who has somehow put up with me for well over a year now. I'm not really sure why, but awesome. Nevertheless. Kirrok, my friend.
Yes.
Anything new happening? Let's check the videos here.
No, you won't see anything new on the channel. Are you trying to tell me something?
I'm just saying, you've got a YouTube channel with like 300 plus fucking people on it. You might want to give them something.
Yes, you are right. I have video just sitting there, and I just been putting it off. Things coming up. My birthday was this last week. My dad's birthday was a few days before that.
That's right.
In fact, on Monday, on his birthday, I was supposed to stream and I didn't because the interwebs went down for 24 hours.
Don't.
Which was crap, but at least it came up pretty quick because they had said it wouldn't come up till Thursday, which was my birthday, but it works now. What have I done? I have streamed. I started streaming. This is awesome. I started streaming Abduction.
Nice.
In VR. I did that Wednesday that just went by. And Abduction, if you don't know, is made by the developer Cyan. Same guys that made Myst, One of
Okay.
my very, very favorite puzzle games. The game came out in the, I can't remember if it was early 90s or mid 90s. Great game. And this is the same kind of game. You're just plopped out in the middle of somewhere. I'm not going to spoil it. And you got to figure things out, how to provide power, how to,
Puzzle game.
yeah, read and look at different clues and stuff and figure things out. So good, especially it being in VR. It was the reason I bought it in the first place, because when I sampled the VR headset, it felt like this would be the perfect type of technology to play something like Myst in. So,
Absolutely.
so
Very
happy
cool.
to start this game. Yeah.
And again, as always, guys, if you haven't done so, you need to make sure you head over to YouTube and over to Twitch and check out. Well, not YouTube because it doesn't do anything there.
Well, stuff will be going. You know,
But definitely go over to Twitch and make sure you're subbed to or following. Sorry,
follow. Yeah, follow.
Hey, sub him while you're at it. To be
No,
honest,
sub. Yeah, sub.
he is affiliated. He does take
Smash that sub button.
God. Throw some bits on the ground. He'll watch them scramble to pick him up. It's great. And of course, you got good old Project Singularity. How the guys doing?
Guys are good. Game night was tonight. I don't believe anybody got together. I couldn't because I had left work, dinner, got ready for the tonight, and we're recording now. So,
there you go.
we mainly keep in contact through emails and stuff like that. So the
Yeah,
email's
that's
pretty
so
lively.
Strange.
It's weird. We have Discord. We have
Seriously, if you have a
Skype,
fucking
we have-
Discord channel, why are you not? Anyways,
And no, it's true. And we chat mostly through emails. A few of us do chat on Discord, but not as many as through emails.
Yep.
Yeah.
and of course you've got Hop Along.
Hop Along, yes.
Again, a little long here, but
a little, yeah. It's okay. I mean, at this point, I'm supposed to be getting together with them later this coming week. So our goal is to film a couple of episodes, post them out.
I look forward to that because I've been waiting.
Start getting back into the
waiting for
motion.
new stuff. So again, guys, make sure you check out Hop Along Gaming's because it's a different format. It's fun to watch. I definitely encourage it.
Yeah.
Nothing exciting going on with me, guys. As you all know, I have my gaming channel, which nothing's on it right now because I haven't had. I literally have not had a chance to game at all. I've been working on
Stuff at home.
build project. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm hot and heavy into that. I don't have anything new as of yet for my Moto vlog channel, but I will have new content coming up hopefully sooner or later. Again, just a matter of timing. But of course, as always, please make sure you do check out BobRocketGaming.com, as that is where most of my devoted time is set at, talking and communicating through there, as well as through the podcast itself, which is always a fun thing to do, as you guys know. And hey, I gotta say a big thank you because we keep growing. Yes, it's small little spurts here and there, but it's been wonderful. We're up to 65 now, doing good. Appreciate that. We have content in planning. It's going to be a slow process to get new stuff out there just because we're coming into the holiday season. If you guys don't already know, for the holiday season, we tend to try to do a lot of planning because we have the end of year episodes that are going to be coming up. So we're doing our predictions roundup for the 2017 predictions we did at the end of last year. We're going to bring all the people back on. We're going to see how we did with our predictions, which I think is going to be comical at best. So that's going to be really fun to watch. We'll have the 2018 predictions towards the end of the year as well. So we'll bring some new people in and try to guess what's going to happen in 2018. So that'll be fun. And we'll have a holiday special, which is going to be basically a lot of us around table sitting around shooting the shit about gaming and drinking a lot. So be ready for that one as well. So look forward to that. Of course, that content will be going up onto the YouTube channel, and there's a good chance we might even possibly do like the holiday roundtable on Twitch, possibly. I don't know yet. I'll talk with Bob or Thomas, who's taking over as primary for the Twitch channel. So we'll find out what we can do there, and we'll have some fun with that. So make sure you head over to our Twitch channel and check things out because we do certainly have a lot of stuff going on there, and I do appreciate you guys giving us the loves over there as well. And of course, last but not least, and certainly most unimportant of all, but nevertheless there, is our Patreon channel. Again, we do have a Patreon channel. If you'd like to donate a few dollars to us, we do appreciate it. We do have different tiers that you can donate for. And again, all the money goes back into the community to try to help people out with games, events, etc. So we'll have some fun with that as well. So, anyways, again, guys, thank you so very, very much. We do appreciate it. And I think at this point, the best thing I can say right now is good night.
Okay. Good night, everyone.